Oh.
That was better.
Just to emphasize. Oh.
All right, get yourself some wine.
It's game time.
Thank God I have my Miller Lite.
And I will be partaking of Tisdale Cabernet Sauvignon, California.
A bottle for $5.39.
And that's marked up.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Podlander Outcast, an Outlander podcast. There's drunk in there somewhere, but I'm not drunk enough yet to remember.
It's fuchsia.
My name is Julie Starbird.
My name is Kelly Loris.
And you might notice that is not Allison Shoemaker, because today Kelly is going to be our guest co-host. Allison is out of town having a wonderful time in L.A.
I'm feeling some big shoes needing to be filled right now, and I'm a little nervous about it.
I think she's like a size 9.
Well, I mean, I'm approximately the same, but like metaphorically.
Okay.
Her shoes are at about a 73, so I'm a little nervous.
I think you're going to be great.
All right.
So we are here today to drink some booze and talk about the show Outlander.
Cheers, dude.
Cheers. This is episode 6 of season 2. The title of the episode is Best Laid Schemes.
Ellipses.
Question mark. So obviously, the title even goes to show us at the very beginning that something is not complete.
Never is.
So I have been making a big deal recently of the little opening thing that happens where it shows you something about what might come later in the episode.
Sure.
This time, it opens on somebody wrapping rope around a big stick, dumping it in something flammable, and then making a torch.
Ropey torches.
Ropey torches are how the episode begins. Mm-hmm. So that probably is not good.
Well, no. I mean, is it ever?
Mm-mm.
No.
So what happened?
That's it. Then we launch into the worst intro music ever. I'm sorry, Allison. I'm going to start out controversial. I'm just going to lay it right down on the ground and say, I watched the show despite the opening song.
She really hates it.
I really hate it. Though, as I said earlier, the French does amp it up to almost acceptable, but otherwise, the worst. Oh, except for I did note, I do appreciate the walking crotch shot. Other than that, though.
Oh, of the king in the sweet-ass costume?
I don't even know whose crotch it is. It's walking crotch. That's all I got. All right.
It's the costume that he wore in the last episode when he made Blackjack Randall kneel.
Sure.
Remember, because Blackjack Randall is actually wearing real soldier drag, and the king is wearing, like, soldier drag.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's him. But the best part of that is the strut. Like, he knows he's working it. All right, so we got the little teaser there. Torches are being made. Never a good thing. It calls to mind like storming the castle or Frankenstein, or I don't like it.
I mean, I literally have never seen a ropey torch get set ablaze before, so I'm not really sure what it might call to mind. But
it just doesn't look good. Crowd. There's what's the term? Torch carrying mob.
Sure.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
No.
All right, so that's what we see. So we are already set up with the ellipsis and then the ominous torch making. So probably, something is going to be nervous or scary or not great.
Speaking of, scene change, Jamie.
Yeah.
His hair is getting a little Orphan Annie of late, which is...
Kelly has definite feelings about Jamie's hair.
I love it when it's pulled back, but when it's like wild. I mean, I appreciate the flame analogy of his hair, but other than that, let's put a pin in it.
Occasionally, it looks really great, and sometimes it just looks extra shitty.
Well, we're at the extra shitty. We're at the we need a haircut stage.
You don't like it?
Also,
is it because it's in his face, or is it the way it's shaped around his head?
Yeah, it isn't shaped around his head. It's a hot mess.
It's too wild.
It's taken away from his bare chest, and I don't like the distraction.
They're not trying to get away from his bare chest, though, because a comment that my husband made about this episode was we get a lot of Jamie's cleavage all the time.
Well, true story. Also, pinky ring. I mean, I know that's like a thing.
Yeah.
It's like a businessman thing.
But why?
Pinky ring.
How did that start? Is that where you wear your the thing that you press what's the word, Latin person?
I was just going to drop some Latin all over. Well, not the actual Latin, but the Roman culture. Yeah, that goes all the way back to the Romans. That's how you seal. It's your seal.
So is there a word for it? Signet? Is that a word?
Sure.
Ooh, Janine
nice.
coming
Well
through.
Well played.
All right, so is that how it started?
When you seal your shit with wax and you roll your little signet and you're like, oh, this is coming from
Would that work?
wine thing. I don't know.
I don't know.
This is,
I'm Jamie at wine
that's
room.
the Jamie signal. Yeah, and then everyone gets really excited.
Like a business card.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like the pinky ring is a business card. Now, does that transfer into modern day times when now the businessmen who wear the pinky ring seem to be maybe a little bit less, legit?
I think that's giving them too much cred to give them like a historical background. I
does
think
that
they
go
just
all the
have
way?
bad taste, dude.
All right.
Yeah, it's
All right.
terrible.
So we see Jamie and Murtaugh in the den of the wine house, whatever fabulous setup Jamie has fucking going in Paris, because he is...
You notice the costumes. All I can look at are the floors, the
set
wall
dressing.
color.
I know, it's amazing.
That house is rad.
So he's in his rad house that he did absolutely nothing to deserve.
Yeah, it just
Allison, I'm
landed
sure, will
right in
agree
his
with me on
freaking
that.
lap.
But it's just that should be noted. As everyone knows, I have never read the books. Neither has Kelly. So
We don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
no, we're just gonna be chatting, and maybe later Allison and I will have to back clean up, but I doubt it because Kelly and I are pretty charming, and we talk to each other a lot, so it's pretty natural. So we open. Jamie and Murtaugh are in the den of the fucking fantastic house. And
Jamie's looking perplexed.
he is thinking about something very deeply, which is not necessarily his strong suit. I'm not saying he's dumb. I'm just
He
saying
has feelings, but he's not a planner.
he's not is he a planner, or is he, maybe he's more of a doer and more able to react in the moment?
Yeah, I was going to say reactor. There you
Right.
go.
So he's having all these thoughts about canceling the duel, and of course he would with Blackjack Randall. And then Murtaugh comes.
I'm having all the feelings about canceling the duel. Claire, seriously, really? I mean, I appreciate your predicament, kind of, but I feel like Claire is asking a lot across the board.
I mean, in this episode in particular, we do get I got a little bit of hate on.
I think she said the word me about 400 times.
Yeah, and it seems like maybe she's focused on the wrong things, or focused on the correct things but in the wrong way. I can't tell. I don't know. But so we open, and there's Jamie feeling all the feelings, or working it out somehow, like doing complicated math in his head, whatever causes
Working
that
up on
face.
a big poop.
Yeah, that face that he is making. And then Murtaugh comes in, guns a-blazing, because he is so excited about the duel.
He's ready to slam a dude with a sword for show.
He comes in and he's like, Blackjack Randall's out of the Bastille. So now we know Blackjack Randall's out of
God,
jail.
you guys, I cannot do the Allison French accent. I really
Neither
wish I
can
could.
I.
It's gorgeous, and it's a beautiful part of the
Bastille.
podcast.
All I can do
You're
is
going to have to
just-
let that go this week, because Kelly ain't got that game.
All I can say is Bastille. Like, that's kind of it. Maybe later
I'm
on
just
if
going
I...
to try and say everything with like a heavy Chicago accent.
Oh, you should.
Bastille. Wait, no, that I don't know what that accent is. It just got real weird. That got
No,
weird.
that was fucking perfect. All right, so Murtaugh comes in to tell Jamie that Blackjack Randall has gotten out of the Bastille.
The Bastille.
And he's really excited about the duel. And then Jamie has to break the news to Murtaugh. Guess what, Murtaugh?
I can't do it. Oh, it's fine. We'll just practice. I can't do it.
Exactly. So Murtaugh is like, what? And then how
That's
did that...
bullshit.
Yeah, he was mad about it.
There's
And
a
then-
lot of that's bullshit and then pounding out of the room. I
What
think
was
that's
the
pretty
thing
much
that he
it.
said? We need to... Oh, the thing that he said about working out before the duel, because he comes in
Yeah,
because he's
'cause
all
of the
excited.
hand.
Yeah, he's all excited to like spar with Jamie before the duel, and he's like, "We need to work out your bad hand."
Yeah.
I can't do the accent, but I love. He does this thing where he like wiggles his fingers, and it's almost like, "Hey, man, don't rub it in."
Your hands for shit.
Yeah, I can't.
You gotta
I
figure
can't
that out.
Work my hand. So he finds out that the duel is off, and he's really pissed about it.
All I wrote was Jay asking a lot of M. No excuses given.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he doesn't say why.
He's
He
never
just
told
says,
him why yet.
Trust.
And this is the insult, or not really insult, but like parting words that Murtaugh has for Jamie as he leaves the room is, "Your mind changes like a woman in flux."
Yeah, true story.
So is flux is that like a period joke?
Is it, or is it just like women are always in flux because they be women?
I mean, I think it's a period joke.
Feels like a period.
Feel like a period?
Janine agrees.
All right, we'll go straight for the period, which is pertinent to this particular episode.
Yes, it is. Well, okay, we'll get there. Mm-hmm. All right.
Cut to hospital.
He's mad, and then where's Claire in all this? Oh, well, she's just at the fucking poor person hospital helping everybody out while she's like 10 months pregnant.
Literally since yesterday. I mean, this is supposed to be like the next day, or at least a few. I mean, it's not that long after the last episode.
They had that fight that like maybe the night before, maybe 2 nights before.
She got 6 months more pregnant in that
She
evening.
seriously did get more pregnant. Like, we
It's
don't know how it
ridiculous.
happened, but she is like, she is huge.
Yeah.
It's imminent. But that's not stopping our Claire.
She's just gonna rub down this dead guy.
Yeah, from going to the hospital and helping out the executioner. I don't remember the character's name. I should probably look that up.
Nasty, dirty, hoary executioner, gross
He's
guy.
really gross, but he's also like, you can tell he knows what he's doing. And anyway, the actor's name, I did decide to look this up, and somebody's going to be really excited about this. The actor's name is Niall
Niall.
Grieg Fulton.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I just want to call him Grieg now. That's
Niall.
fantastic.
Is it Niall or Niall? Who knows? We're never going to know how to pronounce these
Niall.
people's names correctly.
Should I just go straight? Niall.
And he plays.
Executioner.
Yeah, but he's got like a Monsieur Raymond name too. Hold on.
This is the other thing you need to know about me. I don't remember names of anything or places, so it's all on Julie.
Well, and then my internet skills aren't as great as Allison's, so it'll take me forever.
Yeah, she's like an internet nut.
Yeah, fuck this. Whatever.
Ninja.
I'll figure it out. How do you spell?
Niall, Niall, Grieg, Greig, Fulton, Fulton. So Janine's on the case. He's the actor that plays the executioner, who also doubles as the doctor. The good old days.
Well, you take what you get.
I know. Fres, Monsieur Fres.
Froys.
Froes.
Oh, man.
So that guy is like prepping a dead body at the hospital. Here's hugely pregnant Claire, and he's like, "Hey, pregnant lady, why don't you help me, prep this corpse for burial?" Sweet, no problem. So she goes in to help, and then all of a sudden, the executioner weirdly launches into the kind of this monologue about how he's got to get ready for an execution. Is there any explanation for why he
Well,
starts?
I think he's just straight being pointed.
He's just
He's
fucking
just,
with her
hey,
brain.
bitch. So I gotta do something, and I'm gonna do it to some witches.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've never heard about any witches, because you're certainly not a witch yourself.
Right.
You witch. But
Yeah.
this is what I do to witches. Yeah. And let
some
me get
people-
real specific about it.
Let me get real specific about how I want to kill the witches. And it's not hanging.
I
No.
learned a lot about.
It's not hanging. It is drawing and quartering.
I gotta tell you, I never thought about what the word drawing meant. I
Me
mean, I
neither.
get quarters pretty
I
straightforward.
thought drawing was just like pulling them apart.
I did too, but apparently it's not.
Drawing the heart out? You
Yeah,
think
it's got to be. That's the only thing that I can think, because the description is.
So he goes through this crazy shit, and it's this. He's got a weird glimmer in his eye. So you know that Monsieur Freux, or whatever his name is weirdly into this.
Oh, you got to be a little bit.
And you gotta like it. So he
He did
properly-
talk a lot about how it required a very advanced skill. Like this wasn't for chumps.
Yeah.
This whole drawing thing.
This whole drawing and quartering thing should not be done by just your average everyday Joe.
That's right.
In fact, just save it for the true sadists among us, because we will take the necessary time. In that, you need to hang somebody first, but
Careful.
you can't break their neck.
Carefully, yeah.
Don't break their neck. Now that's got to be hard
You got to
enough.
bring them to near death.
So they can't actually be dead. You're choking them out basically, and then you reach into their chest.
Yeah, and you got to. You have to be very quick and specific about the cut.
Yeah, you got to cut it right, and you got to reach in right and pull out the heart so that it's still beating in your hand. Because, and he says this, you got to give the audience something to watch.
That's right. That's
Oh,
right.
God. And then I guess
Something to please the crowd, I believe, is
Yeah.
what he said. Yeah.
And then after that, he says the rest is mere butchery. So I can only
Yeah,
assume that
that's
that's
the
when they
quartering,
tie
yeah.
the horses to your forelimbs and have them run in 4 different directions.
And then he throws down the name of the apothecary.
Yeah, he says, "Why don't you ask Monsieur Raymond?" And we're all like, "Hell no.
Right.
Don't fuck with Monsieur Raymond. If he's off this show, I might not watch it anymore." So Claire is obviously very freaked out. And
Wait, what did he say? Like, I didn't miss this. Or I did miss this, rather. Right before he's about to step out to go draw and quarter some folk, he said something about how I'm obviously making you feel upset
Oh, that's right. Obviously, what I have said upsets you or affects you or something. He said, possibly you should go see your friend, Monsieur Raymond.
Oh, and then that's because then she makes this weird like fake smile at him.
I'm like, oh.
Okay, all right. So
And
that's
it's
when
very
they,
pointed
okay,
because
I
we
got
know
you,
that
I
this
got you.
guy maybe knows that Monsieur Raymond might traffic in some dark arts.
Yeah, which okay, so that launches her on the road.
And she can't stand it. Neither can we. She runs immediately to Monsieur Raymond's shop. They go into the scary back room where they can be private and none of the gendarmes can see them.
Right.
And she tells him, hey, dude, you need to leave town.
He says he will. It takes like a hot second
First,
though.
he's like, no, they've been doing this forever. When Louis XIV, our king's grandfather, had this problem, he would have whole arrests of people and bring all these people to
P.S.
jail.
Did it
and then,
sound like he was there?
That's what dude, this guy, Monsieur Raymond knows some shit.
Right.
And I think maybe is Merlin.
Heard.
Maybe he's an immortal. I know. We definitely know that he's got some knowledge of the time traveling thing and is probably one
He
himself.
probably
right?
needs his own show.
Yes.
He's definitely intimate with a dick rock.
Oh,
for sure.
he knows about a dick rock, but I don't know if a dick rock is what catapulted him. Like, was it something else?
I think he might just be aware of dick rock because he's been alive since the dawn of time.
Yeah. And is never going to die.
Because
Right?
after he finally acquiesces and like, all right, fine, if he's drawing and quartering bitches,
Okay,
then fine.
I'm not hanging around for that.
But he
No
says,
pun
I'll
intended.
leave the city. But then he's like, I'll see you. What did he say?
He said, "I'll
again
see
in
you-
this life.
We will meet Madonna. We will meet again in this life or another. So,
Not his other life.
well, we don't know. So Monsieur Raymond hightails it out of town. Thank God. Bye, Monsieur
At least
Raymond.
he says he does. We'll
Au
see.
revoir, Monsieur Raymond. Goodbye. Get out. Please don't get hurt. So then he leaves, and we are bereft of him for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Which is probably kind of a shitty thing now that I think about it. So,
Cut to Jamie rubbing Claire's feet.
giving her a bitch and foot rub, and it's like, okay, we know he's the perfect man, right?
He's a listener. She's
Yeah.
like, how did you even know this is exactly what I needed at this exact moment? He's like, because I remember Jenny's talking about it. Yeah.
My sister said that this was the only thing that helped her when she had the wee bairn. And it's like, okay, were you rubbing your sister's feet like that? I don't think so.
They're a very close family.
But so he's giving her the old massage, and they're talking.
Now, mind you, he is literally buttering her up because he's about to say some things.
He's about to tell her what does happen in this scene.
This is when he's like, okay, remember how you said I owe you a life?
Right, I think we're even.
I think actually, remember how I saved you 7 million times?
Right.
Maybe we're even.
Maybe we don't get to call that.
But exactly. But maybe what you need to know is that I'm backing down on this duel for another reason.
Mm-hmm. And that reason is Prince Charles, Bonnie Prince Douche.
Mm-hmm.
This was kind of unclear to me. He doesn't want to offend him or
No,
stop
his jam is like, all right, we've been trying to bring this dude down forever now, and it's not happening. And he's super charming, and he's the devil, and it seems to me like all the shit we're trying to stop is actually probably going to happen.
no matter what we do.
No matter what we do. And when it does go down, when I am killed on a battlefield,
I need to know that Frank exists in the future to take care of you and my child.
yeah, and you need to go touch that dick rock.
Yeah, let me know. You must promise me that when the time is right, you'll make your way back to the Stones, Dick Rock,
Right.
to go back into the future so that there's Frank, the beta male there, to take care of you and my
Every time he
kid.
says Frank, it feels weird.
Yeah, Frank. No, that's French. Frank. Frank.
No, that
I
sounds like
can't
a
even do it.
swear word when he says
can't even
it.
do
I'm
it.
not real sure.
So, what he's telling her is, yeah, I'm not going to do this duel, but it's not because of what you think. It's because I need Frank to be alive in the future to take care of you. And that's kind of like dickish, but also very true.
Oh, I see. I got the opposite. I was like, man, how many times is this guy going to sublimate his own needs?
Right.
Over and over and over
Well-
and over and over again.
It's true, although at the end we'll get there.
Okay.
So, they decide that they've got to come up with a way to fuck up the Saint Germain shipment the way that they're working now with their plot. As you will remember, Bonnie Prince Douchebag
Yeah.
put Jamie in charge of the shipment of Saint Germain's booze so that they're going to make all this money on. That was obviously a horrible business investment. As we all know, Bonnie Prince of Douche is not very strong in the head. And Claire comes up with the bright idea that she can fake smallpox.
This is like a show about smallpox, ultimately, really, beginning to end. All about smallpox, yeah.
Well, I guess back then it kind of was all about smallpox. I mean, ugh. Can you imagine it? What are the symptoms? Do you just shit yourself to death? I know it's highly
well, according to the faux pox that she created, yeah, it involves boils and crapping yourself.
And because guess what's in the fake potion that she makes, you guys?
Oh, shit, what is that?
It is bitter cascara, which we've talked about several times already.
Yeah.
So this show is very, dependent upon a potion that makes you shit yourself.
Right.
Like, why doesn't somebody give that to the king if he needs to take a dump?
How many times have people been described or have been shown actually pooping this season? It seems to be like an aggressively poopy season.
Well, you've definitely got the scene early in the season with King on the toilet,
pooping
right?
King.
Which is huge. and
She
a great
pooped
scene.
herself.
She pooped herself, but they don't really show it. Allison mentioned that in the books that shit is hilarious because it literally is just her in a bed shitting herself for like 2 days or whatever.
Well, yeah. I guess this is just a window into a world that we really don't want to dick rack back to, ultimately.
I never want to dick rack back that far because...
Getting violently attacked by aggressive men and pooping yourself to death.
Right, and just like diseases and everything, just like even looking at that hospital makes me want to die. This is before doctors realize that they have to wash their hands, right?
Probably,
yeah, this is the 1800s, right? Yeah, so this is like... way before even basic sanitation and oh god no.
Odors.
That's why I said the good old days earlier because it's not fucking the good old days.
No.
So Claire comes up with a bright idea to mix this potion to fake smallpox and make it look like all these guys that work for Saint Germain have the smallpox, but they've got to figure out how to get them to ingest it. So Jamie and Fergus are gonna go to Saint Germain's warehouse, which is over the river through the woods.
Somewhere beautiful.
Yeah,
I love that fucking French.
Fuck you, France. Quit being so pretty. And they're gonna get it into their wine so that these guys drink it and then exhibit all these symptoms of smallpox, even though they don't have it, so that then they will have to destroy his Saint Germain's warehouse will have to be destroyed.
Did you think it was weird how many times they hollered at Fergus in that particular scene to like pay attention and quit fucking around? Mm-hmm. It kept making me think like he was going to screw something up pretty sincerely, and
but
he never did.
Well. Until he didn't know that was screwing up until it became
right.
And we still.
But it's not like he wasn't paying attention. I mean, I guess he wasn't paying attention. I don't know.
Well, he didn't see who was in the room with him.
I don't know. I'm just anticipating that kid just like screwing something up real bad.
But he didn't.
He didn't.
So I think that's where they go next, right? It's just.
Oh, don't skip Murtaugh all like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What is it? Masquerades and games.
Yeah, he's not.
He doesn't like all this like fakery.
He
just wants to put a sword in somebody's throat.
Yeah, Murtaugh was not built for Paris intrigue.
No.
Murtaugh was built for Highland rumbling.
Right, and this is where they decide that they need to tell him everything.
Oh yeah, that's right. So they're.
Because Claire is like righteously pissed 24 hours a day, and they've had enough of it.
He doesn't understand why anything is happening.
Well, why
the way
would
it is.
you? It's the stupidest plan ever.
So Jamie and Claire kind of have a quiet moment alone, where Jamie looks at Claire and says, "We have to fucking tell him. We have to tell him everything." And Claire is like, "You know what? You're right." So then we have this great montage
it's time
sequence.
for a montage, yeah.
Where Murtaugh and Jamie are in the courtyard outside, and Claire is in the window just watching it happen. And you can just see Jamie talking, and it's like time is passing, like videos are like scrolling.
It's a lot of furrowed brows and like
Pamplemousse's
head tilting.
He's just really like, what?
Earnest nodding,
or whatever. And then we get to the end of it, and then I guess he basically says, well, if your wife's a witch, if you say your wife's a witch, it's not on me to tell you different.
Thank God all these Scotsmen are just so keen to just go like, yeah,
time travel.
Oh, witch.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
why didn't you just say Dick Rock to begin with, Jamie?
I would have known what you were talking about.
Oh, P.S. They were talking in Gaelic the whole time.
They were, which is really hot.
Yeah. Well, when you gotta explain Dick Rocks,
you gotta go straight to the
all the
mother
way
tongue.
down to the Gaelic. Yeah,
Mother
you gotta
tongue.
exactly.
Because the theme song that you hate is based on the Scottish Highland song that is about a woman who travels through time.
I mean,
So
sure.
maybe it's part of their fucking heritage or whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
So Murtaugh kind of weirdly accepts it, like, all right.
And then he punches him in the face.
And then he straight up punches Jamie in the face, who has deserved it for a long time. And Jamie's like, all right, bro, it's cool.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
You're right, man. Let's hug it out.
But this is like maybe okay. So we had this whole montage happen with Jamie, and then we had the montage happen with Frank, and then when this is the third montage of the truth telling montage. And every single time, everybody's cool.
Everybody, yeah, nobody
Everybody's
gets mad
cool.
about it.
Julie, don't ever look at me and say I got something to tell you,
I traveled through time.
because I'm not gonna be like, cool.
Cool.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
You're not going to accept it.
I don't buy it.
All right, so they make up the fake smallpox, and then do they do the highwayman shit at the same time?
It's time to get on the horses. This is the scene where they get on the gorgeous
So-
horses, the men's, well, Jamie and Fergus.
Jamie and Fergus ride
And
out.
then they like, and this is again, she's like, Fergus, don't do anything dim-witted. You're a fucking idiot. And then the Fergus is like, I won't. And
Great
she's like,
parents.
mhm.
No, he
They're
goes,
so
he
nice.
goes, what?
Like, why are they so nasty to Fergus? When has Fergus ever done anything? Poor Fergus.
Well, not yet anyway.
Well, yeah, that's
So
They ride off, and then it's like once again a montage
this
of them like
beautiful
galloping through a
montage
variety of
Provence, wherever the fuck they're going.
Right.
And then they get there, and without a hitch, Fergus stealthily, tinily on his tiny little child feet sneaks
Why does this
in.
go so well?
I don't
There's
know.
no reason for this to have gone
I mean,
so
it's
well.
like nobody even sees that they're there. And Fergus goes in, grabs some wine bottles, brings them out. Jamie pours this fake smallpox into him. Take him back to the warehouse. Leave. It's over.
Yeah, and they slop like nettle powder or
Oh
some
yeah, that's
crap
the boil stuff, right?
on the
that will-
inside. And he's like, "Don't get it on your hands." And
Of course
somehow
he
he
got it on
doesn't,
his
even though
hands.
he's just like pouring it all over himself.
Yeah, he totally got
it's
it on his hands.
ridiculous.
So they do all that and get out of there without anybody ever seeing them. So it really does look like these guys come down with the smallpox. So the next scene is,
Meanwhile, Claire and Murtaugh are having a beautiful moment.
that's right.
He's all like,
You were alive.
"When were you born?"
You were born in 1918.
Let's work this out, because I'm having a second here.
You came back here in 1945, so you were alive this whole time. She's like, yeah, this is when I became a nurse. I mean healer.
I mean, either, because you don't know what that
You
word
don't know what that
means.
And for the World War. And I just want it to be noted that Murtaugh just kind of likes World War, just slide
Yeah,
right
he's
over
like,
him.
"Cool, that's cool." But let's
Whatever.
talk about the uprising, because that's really what I'm worried about. Yeah.
So you know when the battle happens, you know when it starts, you know how it ends. Yep.
She's like, "But I don't know about you, and I don't know about me, and I don't know about Jamie." And he's like, "Oh my God,
I would
What-
never want to know that.
what a burden you carry."
Yeah.
Claire, let's worry about you again. Because it's been 20 seconds since we worried about what you're going through
It's
personally.
been 20 seconds since we worried about Claire. Although,
Let
to
me
be fair to
hold
Pamplemousse, although that would be pretty hot, but he would never do that to Jamie. To be fair to Pamplemousse, though, that is some hard shit to know. Like, that's rough. But I'm not forgiving Claire for her selfishness.
Also, the
otherwise.
dying in the uprising will probably be rough.
That's
too,
rough too.
you know.
But no, I mean, Jamie knows it's coming now. I mean, at least he knows it's coming. She was able to be there and tell them that it was coming.
Right.
But anyway, so that scene happens and it's good. Pamplemousse and Claire are very good together there. And then, there's a problem at the storehouse. Guess what? Everybody's sick. We don't want to talk about what they're sick with, though. We don't know. Bonnie Prince Charlie and Comte Saint Germain are like, there's a disaster.
Right.
Right. We can't, the shipment, something's wrong at my warehouse.
Right.
Somebody's sick. What? Well, is it contagious? We don't know. We don't know.
Don't talk
We
about
don't
it.
know what it is. Don't talk
Shut
about
your
it.
mouth.
Very clearly smallpox.
Yeah.
So they're all mad because this is horrible. And
Saint Germain only speaks in French. Everybody else
Right.
only speaks in English.
because Saint Germain doesn't give a fuck. I wish I knew how to say doesn't give a fuck in French.
Does not give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly like that.
That was just like Allison would have done it.
And then Fergus is awesome. Wait, where am I?
This is where then they're like, "Jamie,
That's
I
right.
need you to transport
You're going to
the
have to do
wine."
it yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, by the
Because
way,
they couldn't let anybody else into the warehouse. They couldn't let anybody else know about the sickness. So you're going to have to go in there, P.S.
and get
Let's
the
not
shit
worry
out
about you.
and bring it in a wagon to where it's going or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
By the way,
Mark
Kelly,
me.
Mark me. I suck. where is this conversation happening?
Whorehouse.
Is that a surprise to anybody yet?
It's everybody's business office.
The scene opens with a camera sweep through the whorehouse, and Kelly and I are both like, oh.
Well, wasn't this was this 9 a.m. horse or was that later?
This was early morning horse.
This is an early morning. No, well, this might have been late night horse. I don't know.
Was this late night or early
Yeah,
morning?
no. Early morning horse was Fergus.
Oh, that's right. That's later.
Yeah, that's later.
So
There's a lot.
These are just normal time
These
horse.
are normal.
These are like dinner time
normal
horse.
hour whores.
Whatever.
You know.
So they're at the whorehouse having this conversation. We realize that Jamie has to do this. Up, Jamie. But guess who's going to go with you?
Saint-Germain.
Dick Fox is going with you, man. Dick Fox is going with you. So, fine. Jamie also, he's really good in these moments where something unexpected happens to him, but he can't show it.
Right.
He's really good at that. Claire
Yeah, he's
is
a pretty
not
good
good
liar.
at that. He is very good at it. We talked about that before. So
Right.
he's like, everything's happening in his head, but you can't see it on his face. And he's like, no problem. I'll do that. So then he and Murtaugh come up with a plan.
It's time to get ready. Let's do this.
So they decide that they're going to go pay some dudes to be highwaymen and rob them while they are making the transfer of the goods.
All right.
So Murtaugh is the head highwayman, so they have to drag him up.
Which is an adorable scene because he's getting dressed by his lady friend.
Yeah,
and
Colette, Suzette, I don't even know what
Yeah,
her
I
name
don't
is.
know. But he's like not happy about all the florals and the lace.
They got little
and the
birds on it.
He's like, I can't move in this.
It's like Portlandia all over his chest, just little birds. And then he's got like lace cuffs, and he's not happy about this shit. But they're getting him all dressed up like a hot nobleman because it's going to be the same group
Peacock,
of guys.
yeah.
Kelly actually thought it might be the same duplicité or whatever they were that fucking attacked Mary and
Yeah,
Claire.
I was 100% waiting because you guys saw like when Mary was getting attacked and Claire the hand, the hand reached out and had a big mark on it. So I was waiting for them to actually hire one of the dudes that attacked, but I did not see.
No, we don't really see that happen.
I did not see the hand.
So they come up with this hot plan to pay some dudes, some roughnecks to just roll the shipment while it's happening.
Yeah.
So
Before they leave, though, we got to have a hotbed scene.
oh, that's right.
You got to have Jamie Boob.
Jamie boobs
I mean,
again.
like straight on like breasts.
Yeah, like his pecs are so big they're boobs.
I mean, they look like boobs.
They do, and
Yeah.
he's got just like the perfect smattering of chest hair too. It's like not too much, not too little,
Right.
just like perfectly distributed. Who is this person?
I don't know. And they're both like rubbing her belly all sultry.
They're talking about the baby and how it's going to be great and how he can't wait to meet the baby. And the baby kicks and Jamie gets all cute about it.
Right.
And we
Just
all know.
inviting the evil eye, y'all. Just
Right.
inviting the evil
Just
eye.
like, Sauron, take a look right here. And
So it was pretty cute. He's like, did he, what was that? Did he? And she's like, yes, she just kicked. Yeah.
so they're having their cute little
Quit
moment.
expecting it to be a boy. Jesus.
How about quit expecting it?
Uh-oh.
I'm just saying. Allison and I talked about this. She refused to admit one way or the other.
Well, you knew it was coming because the
of
size of
weird-
her belly. Yeah,
Right.
it doesn't make any sense.
So they have this adorable little scene, and then maybe we're going to get some pregnancy doing it. And he lays on his back, and then Claire gets on top of him, and then cut away.
Nothing's hotter than a kicking baby. Gets you real revved up. Gets you real revved up.
Ew.
Hey, it's what started the whole damn thing.
Ew. I'm really hoping that his expert bean flicking skills came into play because that was fast. And it was just like, bye, we're done. So they're re-cementing their love.
Yeah.
Jamie's got this plan. It's all good.
All right, so now it's time for the boys to leave.
Oh, wait. I forgot to say Neil's quote from this.
What?
So they're just about to do it, but then they turn like this, and Neil goes, no, what? No. It's just big spoon, little spoon. Okay.
And then
we
she
move
gets on top, and then
she gets on top.
and then he's like, "Oh my god, can we do this?"
And then cut away.
And she's like, "Get it in me."
That is all. Oh, and then we cut to Claire with the ladies, right? Isn't
Yeah, this
where-
is like the boys leave, and the ladies are like, "Piccolo, tuccolo, piccolo, tuccolo, cheep, cheep, cheep." Oh my god, I just brought it all the way back to Music Man. What?
Yes! Oh, Allison is going to be so happy. Hashtag Music Man. So Claire has to go hang out with the ladies again, which we all know she doesn't really enjoy because she can't make it look weird because Jamie's off to do this
Because
fucking
I
highwayman
mean,
thing.
okay, I love Claire. I know what she is, but like Come on, can't you just gossip
Pretend.
for like a second? I mean, I know that there are important things in the world that we need to be talking about and doing something about, but man, it is funny when that Baron is trying to have sex with that woman
And he can't get hard,
and
but
he
she
can't
pretends.
get hard, and she just like pretends thrusts, and I mean that's some good gossip
I
right
mean,
there.
that's
Can't you
pretty
just
funny.
appreciate that particular piece of gossip
No.
without getting all self-righteous and
No.
rising up and
She just can't handle it. She just can't let it happen. So it's Louise and all of her friends, and they're talking about everybody's like sexual peccadillos. And then all of a sudden, Claire's like Debbie Downer, and she's like, "Hey, what are we gonna do about all the poor people?"
no joke. And everyone's like, "Oh, you're
Everyone's
right.
like-
It is depressing to look at poor people. We definitely should hide them better."
We should just move them to another part of the city. And Claire's
Claire's-
like, "That's it. I
That
gotta
is
go."
not what I was fucking talking about.
And she just leaves. That she flounces out. She straight up flounces
She's
out.
like, "I am sorry."
and then
You know
just
what?
leaves.
She is not sorry.
is not
she just
fucking
she
sorry.
just fucking
But it's like
irritated.
everybody's having a good time, and then like poor people.
You know
Womp womp.
Claire, you're insufferable.
All right, so she leaves, and then we flash to Jamie and Count Saint Germain with all their goods on the road
Time
at
for the
night.
fake hold up.
Also, fucking A. I mean, I know you have to travel at night because you don't want people to know what's happening, but come on. And then the fake holdup happens, and all the rich guys come out and start attacking. They've got guns and shit, but Germain will not back down. He is very stubborn. I wish I knew how to say Kel stubborn.
I think you just did.
Kel stubborn. So he's not going down without a fight.
No, Murtaugh like, and you know it's Murtaugh, but Murtaugh's like legit got a gun in his face and is like, "Put your gun down."
In
And-
French.
In French.
And not too shitty French
No,
either.
well, he's a glorious. Exactly. But yeah, Saint Germain's not taking it. He's like, not
Jamie's
doing
looking
it.
around trying to figure out how to deal with this, and then he realizes, I need to.
As always, I have to deal with this.
I've got to put my body into it.
Yeah, you know what? I'll use my glorious packs.
You know what? I'm just gonna sacrifice my body.
Yeah.
This sounds like somebody else, right? Anyway, Patty. So Jamie launches himself across the carriage and tackles Germain from the back and throws him on the ground, and then makes it look like he jumps on Murtaugh. So it looks like he was trying to save Count Germain, which he was. And then he and Murtaugh get into a scrap. And he lets Murtaugh get on top of him with his gun, and then he just looks him right in the eye and he's like, nods at him like, "Do it." And then Murtaugh just pistol whips the shit out of him.
Yeah, man, he like knocks him out. He knocks him right out.
So that it looks convincing that he was actually trying to save the comp Saint Germain Dick Fox. So
Cut to
cut to
Claire has left the gossip party
Mm-hmm.
and has gone to do something more meaningful with her life, just like all human beings should. She went to the hospital
where
to
else is
save
she gonna
lives.
go? Yeah,
Right.
but she's not
She
looking
looks
so
like a
good.
mess.
She's not looking so good. We know she's nervous about Jamie's highwayman plan. We know she's not feeling great. We also know she's about 40 months pregnant.
Yeah, right.
And she just looks like shit.
So sister is all like,
Yeah.
"Girl,
She's like, "Why are you here?"
you look gross. Lay down."
Yeah.
And so she does, and then blood on stockings.
She's got blood coming out of her. That's not great.
Sister's all like, "Oh, it's not a big deal.
cool.
Everybody, I mean, I'm bleeding
did
all over my stockings right now. It's not a big deal."
What did she actually say? She's like, "This is no surprise. At this stage, there is always a little bit of leakage.
Yeah,
or
the leaking.
There's always some leaking." And I'm like, God damn. No, I'm not having kids.
Well, also, I don't think there's that level of leaking. I don't think you're bleeding all the way down to your ankles. You know what I mean?
So, sister, I can't remember her name, but the
Sister,
actress's name is
sister.
Francesca de la Tour, I believe. But anyway, Ms. de la Tour is amazing because she is with one eye looking at Claire and like calming her down and being like, "This is fine, this is fine." And then with the other eye, she's looking at the blood like, "This is not fine."
Right, right.
So she talks Claire into laying down and staying the night at the hospital so that she can take care of her. Fine. So we fast forward to the next morning, and there's Jamie with an ice pack on his head. And
Yeah, this is when Jamie's with Charles and Saint Germain.
yeah, he's Bonnie Prince Douche and
This
Dick
is like
Fox.
the post
postmortem.
attack
The postmortem.
despairing. Exactly.
So
Oh
Bonnie
shit,
Prince,
that was terrible. Oh god, I
can't believe
that
this happened. It's the worst. And then Dick Fox keeps trying to bring it back to like, somebody had to have known. Nobody knew we were going to be there. And Jamie's got an answer for everything. He's like, well, it is the most widely traveled road between blah and blah.
duh.
And there have been lots of highwaymen and thefts and banditry and yeah.
Until they both like bust up
And then they
stand
both
up,
get
like-
this real manly like brah, brah, and they stand up in each other's face.
And then Charles is like, "Oh, please, boys.
And Charles is like, hey, Dick Fox.
Pretty sure he saved your life from what you told me, so bring it down about 100."
Right, pretty sure he saved your life, so chill the fuck out. What am I going to do? I will kill myself if I have to go to
Oh
Poland.
my God, that is the most aggressive turnaround. He's like, "What am I going to do now? What am I going to do? This has all been for shit. What do I go back to Rome where the Pope hates my daddy?"
Yeah, and why does the Pope hate your dad?
I don't know.
Guess it runs in the fucking family.
Right. But then, like, yeah, he doesn't explain why he needs to go to Poland. I guess I got to read a history book. But yeah, he's like, I'm gonna kill myself in Poland.
Poland. And
It's
we
just
both
like,
stopped and looked at each other and we're like, Poland?
Oh, Charles.
Okay,
Apparently, Poland fucking sucks. That's too
Don't
bad.
go to Poland.
So cut back to, now it's the postmortem, and Jamie's taking, a normal sized breakfast. Wait, no,
No.
it's like a giant
It's like
breakfast
an entire buffet.
at his house.
And then you see him getting his food at the buffet, and then he sits down at the head of the table, and then Fergus comes in, and you get this shot of Jamie down along the table, and you see that the inset part where the buffet is has this huge painting above it,
Yeah, like a dead hare.
just a dead rabbit, and it's like,
There's
and
a-
by the way, this episode was almost completely purple.
There's a lot of like dead, purple, red.
Purple Rain.
Everything was
A little-
purple.
a little bit,
I was
a
wondering if
little
it
bit.
might be a tribute to Prince, but it was everything was purple. And it was noticeable, like
Yeah.
extremely noticeable. And then you see this dead rabbit and you're like, okay. And then Jamie has a nice light breakfast with Fergus.
And Fergus is all like, Claire stayed at the hospital last night 'cause she's like, it was really late and she's really tired. He did not say anything about
was
her
gonna
bloody
say.
stocking.
Maybe Fergus didn't know.
Possible. Because he was shown, in essence, playing on the floor of the hospital.
Ugh.
Like a wee babe.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. It must have been real nasty.
Gross.
So he might not actually know what's going on.
So Jamie's like, oh, okay.
They announced that Murtaugh's going to be gone for a while because he's gone to Portugal to sell the wine that they have, in essence, stolen from themselves.
Right. So he's out of the picture so no suspicion can be, lumped on his head.
Right. Fergus will, quote unquote, miss his happy face.
Sick burn Fergus. Hashtag sick burn Fergus. That kid is beautiful, by the way. That little boy.
Which proves inopportune momentarily.
Bad news coming up. So, where am I? In my notes?
And then we find out, because then Suzette comes in and speaks nearly incomprehensible French English.
Monsieur, something in the hospital, something.
Neil was just like, what?
And Neil's like,
What?
what? But something is very wrong.
Something has gone awry at the whorehouse. Prince Charles has gotten himself into some sort of big debt.
That's right. He needs help from Jamie because he refuses to pay the whores. God damn it. What a fucking douchebag.
Well, he's not. His mouth's a mess. He's not.
He's just horrible.
Also, whatever happened to the whole? I mean, we're just gonna drop the whole Luis is making his baby thing, and we're just gonna ignore
For
it.
now.
Okay, that's gonna come
I bet
back.
it comes back.
It's
Well,
gotta
I don't
come
know.
back.
I never read the books.
Well, true. Me neither. Totally clueless over here.
My guess is that it will come back.
We're wide open. Anything could
Everything comes back. So
happen. So Fergus is gonna go with Jamie to the whorehouse. Blood
right, he's going
Oh,
with Jamie.
this is 9 a.m. whores because it
This
was
is-
post-breakfast whores.
That's right. Post-breakfast horse, the worst shift to work at the whorehouse. Probably not awesome.
Fergus cannot control himself.
Nope.
He has particular tendencies when in whorehouse.
He was raised here, so he's very comfortable in this environment.
Sticky
He moves away from Jamie and starts walking through his old hallways and checking doors to see if they're unlocked. And then there's a door that's open, and he looks in and he sees a bottle of eau de toilette on the table,
Which
and
Fergus is just a sucker for.
he can't stop himself.
Can't.
So he walks in. Ugh. And what do we see?
We see Randall's coat hanging on a hook.
God damn it.
And then there's scary, ominous music. Right, as Fergus, it's
Pockets the eau de toilette. Bad news, buddy.
and then
He turns around.
shadow.
And door
You never
shuts.
see Randall. You just see shadow, shut door, Fergus face, cut. So now
We
Randall's
don't know
alone
what
in
happens
now
there.
we know he's
All we
alone in a
can
room with
do-
a, a pretty little boy right now.
All we can do is imagine what happens in that room.
Well, and they never, at least not in this episode, give us anything deeper. All we know is that Claire gets home from the hospital, sees Jamie's hand brace
On the bed, which is bad news because that means he did come home at some point because he never takes it off when he's in public, so he had to leave really quickly.
And then, oh no, this is when heavy breathing Suzette happens. It wasn't earlier. Suzette just came in and was like, this is a whorehouse. Oh,
yeah.
This is when she
Yes.
comes in and is like, forest, woods,
Something.
French,
Monsieur,
French.
Monsieur, sword, something. And Claire is like, what the fuck? Come on.
Right.
And she is still not looking good.
And so as she's having a heavy breathing breakdown, Claire notices a note that says, I'm sorry, I must. J. Oh, all right.
Okay,
well,
woods. We know that the French maid said something about the woods.
So
we
she
know what this
said
means.
something along the lines of fight,
Woods.
English, officer.
What was his name? Like Colette
Like
or
she-
Suzette knows his name.
Right. So something has gone down with Randall, and so obviously we got a duel.
All right, so Claire can't abide it, so she's got to get there. So she,
Which is a wicked good idea, bleeding out of the crotch, Claire, to get in a jingle
the
jangle.
bounciest fucking carriage that ever was.
Right, well, I know. I'm just like, shake this baby right out. And so, yeah, she goes on the longest jangle
The
ride.
longest, bounciest ass carriage ride through the woods.
which-
And she kept yelling, LA, hurry up. It's
When
like,
she's
oh.
not mumbling to herself, he promised me.
Kelly
he
is
promised
really
me.
pissed at Claire
I'm
right
just
now, you
saying, how many me's are we going to roll around out there?
So she finally gets there, and we start hearing the clash of swords, so we know they're dueling it out over there. Claire jumps out of the carriage once again. Maybe not a bad idea.
A lot of wincing. A lot of
She's not
wincing.
feeling good. Oh, God. She's running through the forest like, she's got a little footman with her, like, helping her, and she's, like, leaning on him because, once again, she's, 3 years pregnant.
Right.
And then
got,
she
like,
gets
7
to this
babies in
tree.
there.
Totally. It's like a litter.
Seriously. That's how they do it back in the day.
So
Evolution.
she's leaning against this fucking tree and realizes that she can't shout or alert them of her presence because if somebody turns around, the other guy could cut his head off.
Wherein narrator says she's just waiting to see which of my men will die.
Gross.
Oh, Claire. Okay.
I know I never read these books, but I just literally have to say this again, and I've said it before. Team Jamie. Team Jamie forever.
Well, yeah,
Also,
100%.
what if you're just stuck here forever? Who gives a shit about Frank at this point? I know that we care about Frank because you love him, but he's not here right now. And you don't know that you're going back.
We're all just a whisper of a memory of a shadow, Claire. You just gotta let that die. You just gotta let it go.
Deep. So she watches Blackjack Randall and Jamie fucking
And
go
by
at
and
it.
by watching, you mean she's like aborting her baby all over the
Right,
woods.
she
while,
is dying. She can barely stand up. She's starting to get real flop sweaty
Blood
and like
starts
gross. And then she
shooting
looks
straight out of her.
She looks down and she's wearing blue tights, and
Uh-huh.
the red blood on her blue tights makes purple. I'm just telling you, purple means something.
Randall, meanwhile, is emotionally manipulating Jamie out on the dueling field by looking him in the eye and said, "How did she forgive you?"
Ugh.
Oh, gross,
I
Randall.
hate you.
But I also love you.
I mean, why is he so hot?
I don't know. I love that guy. He's amazing.
Well,
I've
the
loved him
actor.
since Rome. Yeah, the actor.
Tobias Menzies.
I just looked up a picture. Very nice jaw.
Yeah, he's got a
seriously.
great jaw.
He's got these weird, like, vertical face wrinkles that are, like, astonishingly cool.
And the big, like, you're right about his jaw because back here at the back, it's
Yeah.
like comes out here.
And he
then-
uses
yeah.
it like as an acting technique when he clenches. Like
You can
it like
see the
goes,
whole thing move.
It like goes, oh,
Oh.
and then you get the verticals. What's up?
And
What's up?
Tobias Menzies.
And
So they're fighting.
then
And then fucking A.
it's awesome.
Does it happen right before the
It
gendarme
is
shows up?
right after blood spurt.
Yes.
Because it's like crotch to crotch.
Right.
Right out of her crotch comes a bunch of blood, and then
Jamie dick stab.
just
Straight up
like
stabs
sword
Blackjack
right
Randall
in his dick.
in the fucking meat and two veg.
And as her crotch starts blowing purple flowers, here goes he's like spurting blood out of
So
his.
now we know that he cannot be
Nope.
Frank's
No.
great
That's not making a baby.
because there is no coming back from that shit.
No, I mean, it's not a little bit of blood. It's not a prick. It is! What's that? It's a dick joke, you guys. Ask your mom.
Okay, so he seriously just stabbed him straight in the dick. Like, it was all three of us in the room. Me, Kelly, and my husband all went, oh, dick stab at the same moment. So, of course, that has long-reaching implications of Frank can't be with him, blah, 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 blah. But really, in this moment, we're watching him bleed out. We're watching Claire bleed out. And then the gendarme shows up. And, of course, dueling is outlawed at this period in France. So Jamie's in some shit.
Drop your weapon.
And then, is that where it ends?
Yeah, drop your weapon. Because remember, it's like fainty face.
Right.
So they like close up on her face,
And then she
feigning.
faints. She's fainting.
Close up on Randall's face, feigning, because he's bleeding all over.
He's
and
bleeding
then
out his
close up on, semi close up on Jamie with the cop.
Screaming Claire,
And he's
Claire,
like,
Claire.
Claire. Yeah.
All right,
And then
so
end
that's
of-
how the
yeah,
episode
that's
ends.
it.
You guys, there was a lot in this episode.
Yes, it was a constant scene change.
In fact, when we get to our scales, we'll talk about that. So
Right.
let's get to the scales.
All right.
The first scale
You
is...
gotta roll this one. You're the pro.
So on a scale of a room with a view being the high.
Okay.
So let's say room with a view is the high one. So let me get the low one first.
Okay.
On a scale of twins to a room with a view,
The costumes and twins were pretty great.
what were the costumes? How were the costumes moving you in this episode based on other episodes that you've seen?
Live action Garfield.
Wow. Okay. So more appropriate to what's actually happening as opposed to frippery.
Yeah, I mean, except for
The ladies.
Murtaugh.
Murtaugh gets
There's
the
a lot
moment.
of like,
But that's also very practical because he has to be in
yeah,
that.
I mean, like it's costumes. They're literally costumes this time. Costumes
see-
as costumes.
We
you know
see
what
the
I mean?
gossipy ladies, but we only see them very briefly. And most of the time, Claire is in blue cape or wearing an apron because she's at the damn hospital.
All
the
I'm
time.
saying is there were very few moments where we had
Breathtaking costumes.
gasps.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay.
We might just be like getting used to
We could.
them,
We can never get used to these
which
costumes.
is
Or
unfortunate.
the costume department just took a week off.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
this is
man,
over.
nah. You know what I was
I
thinking
mean, they're
about this
still looking
time
good, but-
is looking at the servants because all
Okay.
the servants have amazing fucking costumes too, and they're not even main characters. Like they just have beautiful, well-made. Like
There was one moment where Neil said something about a button on an apron at the beginning.
oh, that was the apron that she wears in the hospital that it has a button on the chest so that she can just put it up and take it down. I think.
He liked one, yeah.
So costumes, meh, but nothing like red dress, nothing like not gasp worthy.
No, I didn't like pass out because of them or anything.
All right. So our second scale, on a scale between Flipper and what's a sexy movie that we've already done 9.5 weeks. We've already done all that shit. Oh, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Where were the sexy times?
I mean, we had a male boob. We had a little bit of rubbing belly doing it. So it was like a mild, and there was like some kissing, very little fighting. So we got to go with like a gentle sexy. So like maybe like I almost said Moonstruck, but I think that is like a little more aggressive even than this episode. I've got to go with more like a Steel Magnolias.
Okay.
Love sex, but also with eventual death.
All right. Okay. And then on the drink scale, as a, like you open one beer and it doesn't matter when you get up, or you just have to bring the entire 6-pack or entire bottle of wine with you and just not leave.
You got to keep it with you, dude. I mean, honestly, if I had walked away, I would have missed all the machinations. Like I almost sitting in front of the television missed the machinations of
Agreed.
the fake robbery and things
Right.
like that.
It was an incredibly action-packed episode, so there was very little time breathing room in order to get up and replenish a drink. So I would say
You're going to have to bring your camel back.
just bring it with you, get a cooler, pull it up, and chill the fuck out.
That's right. That's right.
All right, well.
Try to pee before you watch.
Definitely pee before you watch. All right, so that's it for the Podlander Drunkcast. Thank you so much to Kelly Loris.
You guys, thanks for tolerating my interference. And thank you to Allison for allowing this to happen. I'm sorry, and I apologize.
Whatever, you were fucking awesome. And once again, thanks to all of our listeners. We appreciate it. Just check us out on Twitter. She finally fucking got me to join Twitter. I'm at Julie Starbee, JuliestArbee, and she's at Allison Shoe.
Allison Shoe.
Yep. So check us out. Thanks again. We'll see you next week.